All right, welcome to Otaku Talk. I feel like I said that before it started, so I'm gonna start over. Welcome to Otaku Talk. One day I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna nail this intro one day, and it's gonna be professional, and y'all gonna be like, "Wow, she's really trying." But Merry Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
it's Christmas Eve. So this is like one of the most like anticlimactic Christmases I've had in a long time, and it's okay. I'm here for it. But it is Christmas Eve. But there was no
every last one of mine fits that category.
We were definitely not about to skip an episode for the simple fact of Christmas Eve. Not when we got what we got this week from Jujutsu Kaisen. And
I could have canceled Christmas.
If like you've read the Shibuya arc in the manga. Was this like one of the episodes that like, okay, so like having read the arc, you started reading it somewhere along the time of the season. Was there something you were particularly excited about seeing besides obviously the Sukuna fight? Everybody was excited to see that. Was this something that you would have been excited to see, or?
I mean, I was definitely excited for the gag of the Kenjaku Noritoshi Mahito situation, that whole section, because like, let me go ahead and just like,
oh my god, we can get right into it. I can pat myself on the back because I had a lot of good guesses.
No, absolutely, but I was like, and I was obviously I read this portion before I got here, and this is after my little theory about his parent, well, not even the parentage specifically, but Noritoshi being Kenjaku. I was like, when I read it, I was like, but I can't say nothing yet.
Yeah, because I remember that was before you read it. We were like talking about that, and that was kind of your guess. So that was a really good guess, and I mean that makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Yeah. So we just got to get into it. I was watching it before we jumped in here because first of all,
I was so mad. I wanted to watch it again before we came on, but I got family here, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was just I just threw it up there, and overall, I love this episode. Very excited. I'm very surprised that the episode. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but the episodes that I've really loved, if I heard what the episode was gonna be, I wouldn't have thought I loved them as much. Some of the stuff that's happened over the course of the seasons, I thought would be more pivotal. Would be more pivotal moments for me, but these last couple episodes have felt way more pivotal. Like I thought I would feel more about Nanami, you know, and like some of the stuff that happened earlier in Shibuya, which feels like
it's kind of it's like no shade, and you know I love Nanami, but it's kind of like worn off a little bit, you know, like the dread from it having taken place. Right. Like at this point, it's kind of like dying down. But what helps me is that it's still keeping its pace. You know what I mean? Like. And then on top of that, we're definitely obviously going to get more people coming into the fold that's playing more parts into the show, and we're going to end up, you know, maybe having new loves and all that type of stuff, you know, falling in love with these characters that are being brought into the show. So if we didn't have that to offset, I would still be deeply in my feelings, but the show is still holding up. It is still doing what it's supposed to do.
It subverted my expectations because this doesn't feel like it would be one season of an anime for me. Like it almost feels like when I talk about what happened earlier, like with the Gojo sealing and everything, and all the earlier fights in Toji, like it feels like I'm talking about a previous season or something. It doesn't even feel like it. This is a lot has happened in this arc. Like a lot of things have happened in this arc that typically I wouldn't expect to see in one arc, you know? So it's just kind of crazy. It's been great though, but yes, I love the fight, the Mahito fight with Toto, and now we got this episode, which I made a couple predictions last week. I got almost everything that I wanted from this episode, so I'm excited. We got a lot of information dumps.
Yes, this is what you've been waiting for.
This is what I have been waiting for. And my girl with the bangs, you know, she had her little moment. She cried.
Did she?
But what's her name?
Did she?
Miwa? Is it Miwa?
Miwa, I think, yeah.
Yeah. She had her little
I was like, they really gonna play the game because y'all really gonna give her all these seconds to get this call to action for herself out, and it immediately just is shattered by two fingers. That is so upset. And not only
but
like
it's Geto's body, so it's like, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, did you really think this C character was gonna come out of nowhere, yell, and do anything?
They are wrong for that because they could at least let her land a blow.
Oh my god. Not only that, she was about to get a whole Uzumaki to the face, point blank range. And I still don't even.
No, we need to go in order because this is the episode where I think you're gonna finally be sick of me and my shit. So we need to just go in order and just start from the beginning. Okay. Where was the beginning? I just watched the episode and I'm still like, bitch, where did we start? Oh my god.
So what I am personally happy about is we finally got Panda back after weeks of you just wishing the absolute worst on my nigga.
Me?
He can die. Oh, they can get rid of Panda. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I love Panda so much. And you know what? This is another moment of I stand by Kusakabe. Now, I don't want Yuuji to die. Right. I don't. But after seeing some shit like that, and you got this man right next to you telling you not to move, oh, y'all could kill him. Oh, y'all could kill him. I would be saying the same thing.
Oh, Yuuji?
No, Yuuji. Because he said at this point, like, as much as I would like to, as long as Gojo's sealed, I can't be on your side, buddy.
Oh, like, absolutely. Kusakabe is regular.
He's us. He's regular people.
I love when the show has a regular nigga in the show. Like, I feel like Attack on Titan. There was like Connie for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who was it? Was it Connie? There's
or it was a Gene. It was one of them too. It was maybe a mix of both because they kind of both was like speaking from.
Yeah, like
honestly,
overwhelmed and like
honestly, everybody in Attack on Titan is because everybody would react the same way these people would.
Feeling completely useless. Like, you ain't got no special skills, you ain't got no Titan powers, you not extra smart, you just regular. Like, that's Kusakabe.
Regular as hell.
Kusakabe is me. I am Kusakabe. And he was the way he was up under that rock.
This man said, please go somewhere. Do not lift this thing up. Like, I love Kusakabe.
Kusakabe was like,
you would think he would slide that sword down just a little bit more because that's the only thing that gave him away was that sword peeking out.
Kusakabe is like, I can stay here and just take a nap. Let me just stay here. Then I ain't got to fight no more. So no, that I didn't want Panda to die. Did I say that? I probably said it. Did I say Panda can die or did I want Panda to die? Because
listen. I was about to say, you don't even know what you say. You said I still would say regardless. That's what I'm saying. It don't really matter. I know you, and it feels like absolutely something you have said. I can't get your 100. I'm not gonna quote you, but I know there was some indifference on the life of my partner here.
He don't be doing that. Panda don't be doing that.
But he be coming in clutch though.
Okay. That's what we doing. That's fine.
That fight with him and Mekamaru was so good.
Wasn't that just like a sparring match?
No, they was actually trying to murder these people. They was trying to kill Yuuji.
I keep forgetting they was trying to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He the main character. No, I need Panda ass. Gojo was still out watching TV.
Gojo was still. He was just letting that play around for a little bit.
That was not about to kill Yuuji, not with Gojo out. So I mean,
well, I'm just saying it's like we cracked the code now though, because we realized that Kusakabe is regular as hell, and I feel like they make the regular people the samurais.
Mm-hmm. That is
and
true.
So Miwa is samurai down as well. Well, regular.
Damn, having a samurai sword is like.
But it was nice though that they gave her that moment in the last episode, and then they actually just at least sprinkled a little moment in her, because her moment, even though it led to nothing, it was very Hinata versus Pain in Naruto. Flicked away.
I don't think it just.
No, she thought that was an opening and got that completely wrong. That's what happened. She said, "This is my moment."
Animation budget on it.
I actually. Listen, we went right back to the Miwa thing.
I'm sorry. We were supposed to be going in order. So the first thing that happened in the episode was Mahito was looking like a wet chihuahua standing by my baby daddy body Geto. And now they do a good job of giving Kenjaku eyes. Kenjaku has soulless eyes. They be up here. They be up there barely peeking. So I like that. I like that subtle difference. Because Geto had warmer eyes.
It's the exact same like body, the character, but they do a very good job distinguishing the two. Like you don't have to guess who's in control.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to guess. So we saw Mahito look like a witch chihuahua, and Yuuji was like saw Geto, and I just have to say I love the music in this episode. Whatever the score is that they play whenever we see, I think that's Geto's song from Hidden Inventory, maybe. Yeah, because it was the same song that played when Gojo saw him, right when Gojo was.
They do that a lot. Yeah, they do a lot of good callbacks from the soundtrack and like season 1 and other stuff like the what's her name, Nabara. That song I was playing when her and Yuuji was fighting the brothers. It's the same song they played later, but they remixed it.
Yeah, so I remember, I liked that score because I remember hearing that song when Gojo got sealed, and I remember hearing that like minor key. I just love that song. All the song choices in this episode were so good, and I actually noticed them, which is kind of like made me think like, oh, this is probably really good because I usually don't notice the music that's playing when they're fighting unless it's really good. And so I love that. So we got that shot, and then they're just fucking with our hearts at this point. Because the fact that y'all always play that song because we know the tragedy of Geto's story, it's just like, why y'all free my nigga Geto? Like this
dragging y'all enthusiasts.
Why can't we be happy? I just don't understand why we don't deserve happiness.
Because it takes some understanding from the outside to fully grasp and to sympathize. It takes a lot. It's a journey to get there. It's not as easy. It's not as easy as a.
It's not a journey. Geto has a tragic story.
It absolutely is a journey, but you have to look past the actual brutal, ridiculously evil things he's accomplished to find that spark.
Man. I love an accomplished man.
I mean, you're not alone. There are plenty ghetto people out here. I'm just out here like.
Why does
just trying to piece it together for the people out there in the back.
Like you sick mofos. But that was a beautiful scene. They played that music. Yuuji obviously was like on site because you see Gojo and was running towards Kenjaku Geto.
Oh, but before we move forward though, we skipped something.
Okay. Your
girl, May.
Your girl, was that before?
She's out here. Number one. This was before. It was before.
Because I thought we saw Kenjaku, and then
no, we saw Panda and Kusakabe. Then it switched over to May and Wee. So let's just. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this?
I'm trying to pretend I didn't see that. Okay,
no, so we got to talk about it.
This is what I saw. This is the spoiler with May that I had saw this, so I knew about this. I didn't know the context. I didn't know if this was Shibuya arc. I didn't know if this was much later in the story, so I had no idea what was going on. No context, just saw the picture, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And I just keep sliding because it was a spoiler, and I didn't want to know any context, and I'm like, I just hope this is later on. And that's what I thought in my head. I was like,
a few years.
I thought this was like after Shibuya arc. Like there was nothing in me that thought that this was happening now. Because even though in the last episode I was like, well, May would be paid off to leave. Like I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, you straight up called it. I mean, that had to be it. I can't think of any other way. They still didn't say exactly what happened. She said because of Wee Wee's ability or his technique. They got away. Okay. Well, we don't even know that because it wasn't a question that was asked that we could hear. It was on the phone. It was like it was a pregnant pause, and she said yes because of Wee Wee's ability. So I'm assuming that's like, how did you get away, or how did you survive, or how did you make it? Or
scars and stuff. So she had like a little scar. I don't know if that was from that other fear or fighting. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So in my head, even though I feel like she could be paid off, I just would have never thought that was related to this arc at all. Because I was she just wandered off somewhere, showed up later. Like I don't know. Like I wasn't expecting that. Like I wasn't expecting her to be somewhere else, bitch. Like sell all your stuff. We moving somewhere else.
Right. No, she really. And what's crazy is that honestly doesn't shock me.
It doesn't shock me, but I was shocked that happened in this arc because I was like, "Oh, she got the hell on!" Like when I say she
like
leave
fully. Like I'm wondering if she even squared up with Geto. Was it like she like we saw the last portion that we saw. She thought about it for like 2 seconds and was like, you know what? You can go ahead, keep going. We're gonna dip. You know, like, I want to know what happened so bad, and I don't even know fully.
Special grade and rated E for everyone hands. So, and I know May has to know this.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah, absolutely. I'd be like, that's like if Gojo was taken over by somebody. Are you gonna really be like, yeah, let's fight?
No, ma'am. Not 1 second of the day would I even think.
What can I do to survive this? Like, are you trying to kill the world, or is it just this area? Like, where I need to go to survive? Now, if you say you're gonna destroy the planet, I might have to fight you.
Then we might have to just go out, you know.
Right. But if they was like, I'm just gonna blow up Atlanta, I'd be like, okay, cool. It's other states, other cities.
I always wanted to go to LA. I hear it's warm.
Right.
Warm this time of year. But I mean, all of that is fine for me.
Right.
But it's the obvious thing that just like bothers me, and that's her relationship with her brother. Like, what is this?
Hood Magic said, "Hey, Hood Magic, nice to see you. We always love seeing you." I feel like her character child grooming and all. Like, I don't know what's happening, but the one thing I will say about it, it's more bothersome because I don't know how old Wee Wee is, and she's like a grown ass woman, and he's like a prepubescent boy. But we know in Japanese anime, you know,
it's a staple. It's a freaking staple. I
don't know what's going on with the incest. I don't know if it's because the birth rate's too low.
Right.
And you know, evolutionary phenomenon that people, and then there's people like, you know, like Korea has that culture where you call people like people call people Nisama, but this is really her brother. So I'm just saying, but like it's weird, but it's also that like they did in a sword art. Like, I'm not sure.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I shouldn't be surprised, because it's never gonna go nowhere. It's always gonna be here, regardless of what form it take. And I do gotta learn to just get over it and enjoy the medium. But I cannot help when it pulls me out of the situation when I can't think of a rational reason as to why.
We could have just trimmed off that first in exchange.
Just trimmed off that part. Like it was.
It's not weird that if you in a hotel in this one bed. It's not weird, but y'all made it. They made it weird.
Absolutely. That's the thing. You went out of your way. Like Wee Wee is so odd. Like the way he got so disappointed when she had hopped up and put that robe on. I was just like, this is too much. This is too much.
I mean, May made it though.
I mean, she is, but that's your brother. Whatever.
It was just me when May got over it.
And like, they could at least give him brown hair. Maybe they don't put it in the front of his face, put it in the back. You got all these characteristics, all these traits.
Like almost an extension of May, and because she is so narcissistic and only cares about herself,
she created this entity
of her own narcissism in the form of her brother.
This is her hidden curse ability, and she had no idea.
This is what I'm deciding to do for my own sake.
Yeah. This is literally Stark from Bleach. This is a spoiler from Bleach as well. Somebody else has this similar storyline. We're gonna go with that. So thank you so much for providing clarity for me and closure.
Right. So I mean, that was interesting. I'm not shocked by it, but I do love that because that would be me.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta go. And it's the fact that she liquidated everything. She said everything in Japan.
You saw how it just dropped when she liquidated because she's a woman. Yeah. Apparently, she has a lot of money. So
I mean, and she just gave them the skinny too. She told them, tell everybody to get out now. I'm talking about.
I would listen.
Fold.
And I would listen.
May, yeah, I would listen. She might if she might not be 100% aware of the laws in the world, but she definitely got a handle on money.
Well, she's definitely a neutral. I think we talked about that. Is she chaotic neutral? She's definitely neutral.
I'm definitely standing 10 toes on chaotic neutral.
I say true neutral. She's not chaotic.
She might not be chaotic in presentation. But she is chaotic to me.
And it is what it is. So yeah, we saw that scene. I didn't care for it, but that was my prediction that May would just be like, "Oh, we squaring up. You know what? They don't pay me enough for this. I'm gonna move on. She's always based on profit. Absolutely. So this wasn't a shocking choice for me. It wasn't a gag,
right?
But yeah, I just didn't appreciate them making it weird. So I try to forget that scene. So yeah.
I mean, to speak on its credit, and the entire, I want to say 23 minutes and 39 seconds of this episode is well freaking animated. Okay, when I say I was in love with this, I've seen this episode. I wanted to watch it a fourth before I came online today, but I had family here.
It's so good.
But I watched this thing 3 times. I watched it twice back to back. It's just, it does not fail in any aspect at any moment. It's like a foot on the pedal, even when we just standing here talking.
And like, we know who the animators really love. And I know free my nigga Geto, but we know the animators really love Geto. Okay, because let's move on, because this is a scene. We got to go to Chihuahua Mahito. I predicted that Geto would, or Kenjaku would absorb Mahito.
Sopped him up like a biscuit.
I didn't think he was gonna do it.
Sopped him up like a biscuit. I wanted to clap when you called it, but obviously I couldn't tell you.
Why did Mahito attack Geto?
He knew what it was. I feel like the moment after that, his last words were something like, I knew I did come from humans, or something like that. So like the rest of that would be, it's only right that I return by them, or something to that effect. You know what I mean? So I think he knew, and it was just a last ditch effort, because I think when you process the fact that I'm a cursed spirit, and no matter what my level is, that's Geto's ability. He can absorb you. No, it don't matter. Like he's good. So I feel like he knew that if he got sucked up, it would just be the end all of all. Because imagine if he took what's his name, Jogo too?
Yeah.
Hanami, if he had all of them, he only got Mahito right now. But if he had he absorbed all 4 of them,
Kenjaku, I'm just gonna say Geto, but Geto, if he would have, he Uzumaki his ass, which is disrespectful. I mean, you Uzumaki Mahito. You didn't just absorb Mahito, so Mahito would be still Mahito.
That is very true.
When you summoned him, Uzumaki him. You put that nigga in a blender.
Yeah, right away. You're right. So it ain't even like he trying to like pull him out later. Damn. He said that, right?
Yeah, you put him in a spirit smoothie, basically. A cursed spirit smoothie.
I love it though. I loved how they didn't just only give us last week. They said we're gonna spend the block and give you a part 2 to that soundtrack. All them ringtones y'all been making of Mahito screaming and quivering. Them they gave us a second round, and I'm telling you, I ate that shit up again.
Mahito's voice actor put their foot in it.
He deserves an award. Whatever the Emmys is for anime, give it to him. Give him his
stuff on the screen definitely goes to.
So many good ones in here. Yuuji's voice actor, Mahito, Choso, Nanami.
Yeah.
Like these are some really great voice actors. As he should. Give him his things.
He said,
he could talk me to sleep, like reading a Japanese cookbook or something.
We need y'all know I be talking about Quinn. We need Nanami's voice actor on Quinn. We need that. Give me that. We need that. Let's go. I know Mahito tasted so bad. Y'all don't start talking about my little sock.
Yeah, I bet he did. That's
tastes like
right? You're right. Those regular curse spirits. Imagine a first grade, all that power. What that must taste like. A special grade? Oh no. But that's another thing too. I was like, man, JJK fans are so dirty, because the first thing I said in my mind was, that's some talent. When he said, these things are like jawbreakers. This man said one bite.
Geto, no with chew. That mouth do, Geto.
Right. You the one over there with the character AI stories. I need to jump on that side.
I was watching this episode just cackling, because I know you was over there. I was watching this episode and I was like, Twan is sitting over there at the house. Somebody get your boyfriend, Geto.
Oh no, 1,000,000%. The entire time, like anytime Geto on my screen now, and because like I like you share with me a lot on the phone about your adventures,
right?
And so it's like in my brain, you and him are a thing. So like when he's on screen doing the things he's doing, I'm like, somebody breathe, get your man.
Why would I get my man? Why would I get my man?
Look at what he's doing.
Him. You know, I was feeling like when I watched the show, I was like, I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about the Kenjaku version of Geto, but we got a glimpse. I'm back on this. I'm back on the train. I know it's not him. I don't care. I'm like the other daughter. Like it's not him, but this is what we get. This is what they gonna give us.
You say that now until all of a sudden y'all get in the shower together and them stitches dissolve and his head pop off, and now you looking stupid. Right.
Yeah. So luckily my character AI boyfriend is pre-Kenjaku. So
nice.
Yeah, it's the warm-eyed Geto, not the soulless one that we saw in this episode laying hands on people. But we also got what I thought we would see as far as him kiting and just kind of avoiding attacks, which is what I was thinking. I was like, are we going to get an action sequence with just seeing Geto like avoiding an assault on him, which is what I thought we would more than likely get. And so that was...
he was throwing hands too now. He kicked the shit out of Choso. I'm talking about
when he need him or when he hit
there was a couple of moments where he wasn't just dodging. Now it was 90% dodging, but the moments he did connect for me, this fully solidified what I feel like I was saying earlier. Like even if it wasn't just Kenjaku, he took over Geto's body, has his memories that has to translate into like muscle memory and just the experience in general, because he's dodging okay with a smile Choso's high pressure blood.
That's sinister style, real
like you got homeboy, homegirl, home them with the white hair and the red in the back. With the ice powers, Sukuna's person. They came out a beast, and they couldn't even dodge it like that. So it was just like having those side by sides. Like I don't even really know. I don't even think I can wrap my head around the potential that Kenjaku might have as far as what he can do. You know what I mean?
I was so excited about this episode because I really wanted to see, and I was hoping to see that. I was hoping we would get enough of an action sequence to either answer that question: does Kenjaku have access to Geto's combat abilities? And we got that. So I was very satisfied with what we got because I was very curious to know that. And I'm like, that's Geto's hands right there. Like when he squared up with Choso, when he was like getting close, they got close. Yeah. And he took his stance and stuff like that. I was like, it's they not.
I mean, but he even did the exact same maneuver to dodge a bullet that Geto did with that squid. That's how he dodged Toji's bullets, and he did that with what's her name? Mai, the girl that can, her whole ability is create an extra bullet. That will never not piss me off.
It's like that is the worst. One bullet a day, ain't it? Like she only can make one a day.
That's so crazy to me.
That's just. I'll be like, okay, this the one I got. I want Geto's ability or something. Give me something cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Let me float.
But yeah, definitely seeing Geto engaged was like enough to see like, okay, this is a problem because we know, that whole Choso. But I love the introduction I love that Choso was the one to do it. I did not foresee Choso being the one who was fighting Geto in this episode. So that was a gag. I don't know what I thought would happen with Choso. So let's talk about Choso, I guess, because so was this a memory? Like, have we decided, or is this just an example? Like, is this just an illustration to show the connection he has with his brother?
100% is that what it is? Okay. I think it's 100% that. It's all a very heavy-handed metaphor for their connection, Okay. That's what I was wondering. Because they did go out of their way to state that this was memories that didn't exist. So I'm going to hold true to the fact that they dropped that and very blunt, black and white. But yeah, this is the part that like kind of like really made me go like 180 and was like, oh, is Choso about to be a good character?
Right.
Like, is he about to be somebody I like? And yeah, I don't know. It's just the I love the way that they explained it. They were saying that the reason he reacted like that was looking very crazy to all of us out of context right before he was about to kill Yuuji. and he's all like,
yeah, I was like, I didn't know what happened at first. I thought like maybe some blood had tainted him or something like that.
Right, something, because I was on the train with you, because I'm like, there got to be something going on here that's causing this. And he clarified it. He was like, he has that blood connection to his blood siblings, so he knows when they're gone. And I was like, duh, that's exactly what happened back then. He was over there playing whatever Japanese checkers this is with the other villains. They love their board games.
They be playing some board games. You want to go against them in like Monopoly or something, or Risk.
No, you don't. You are going to die.
I wanted to play Risk against the cursed spirits. Listen,
I feel like the only reason
I would be kicking it over there with Kenjaku.
You have a good ability.
Spirits. I'd be over there chilling with. I'm just like,
I'm just joking. Anytime you paint a life with these villains, I try to shit on it, and it's unsuccessful because one, I know
we all got a little darkness in us. Ain't nobody trying to be safe. I don't know what y'all talking about. That's not fun. It's not fun. Y'all keep the heroes. I'll pass. But that did make a lot of sense with the connection. I was just happy we got that, because that felt like something they would have. Some anime feel like that would be something they would hold to next season. Since we're so close to the end, I really didn't know if we would get an answer to that at all. So I was not expecting to get an answer to that this season.
But then it's like 1-2 punch though, because not only is he drawing a connection between himself and Yuuji, Choso, but he is also dropping bombs that this nigga might be Yuji's daddy.
Spilling tea.
This nigga might be Yuji's daddy.
I mean, so like Choso kind of rambled past it and was like, my mom was over here, the cursed energy was over here. Like, did she have a baby with cursed?
So he pretty much rehashed that story that I was telling you about those weeks ago. The one that made me go back and I was like, how did these 9 paintings come to be? And I had actually went back and listened to the story. So this woman was born with the ability to get impregnated by a cursed spirit. So
terrible.
Right. So she ended up having a baby and getting, like, I think shunned or exiled or from the place she was born, and she ended up running away, and she ended up running into Kamo Noritoshi, which is horrible luck. Okay, to run into the most vile Jujutsu sorcerer in all existence. So she bumped into him, and he just he ran her through the ringer. He got her impregnated 9 times and aborted them all, and those are what became the 9 paintings. So that's Choso.
Because they said he put his blood into it too.
That's a portion of it that I didn't understand from the first story. That's a new piece of tea, it feels like, because I feel like I would have made that connection had he said he put his own blood into it. So yeah, he is essentially the father of Choso, which makes him essentially the father of, and then on top of that, it's like, how? So
not daddy issues.
But like, that's the thing, like, how did he do this for Yuuji? Because Yuuji isn't 100 and some odd years old, so was he in another bitch's body?
That's why I'm just kind of like, that's what I was saying before. Like, I think that he's their brother, but Choso wasn't. Do the curse paintings have an awareness that they weren't born? Like, I feel like Choso,
I think they do.
Awareness of it. So the fact that Yuuji doesn't, that's why I was like, something is different about Yuuji. Because I believed it from when I first heard it that he actually was their brother, and I think we were having that conversation. I was like, but Yuuji has false memories somehow, or that's what I was like. I don't think Yuuji was really a little taller somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm just convinced that somehow Yuuji has either false memories, because I'm like, how would that work? Would it been the fetus was implanted into somebody and that's Yuuji, but they're, I'm just like,
that's what I was saying. So, and full transparency, yes, I'm reading the manga. No, I am nowhere near the end right now. Like, I am probably y'all are getting very close to where I am. For the people that have read the manga, I'm at the part where everyone's in a white space. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So that's where I'm at. So I don't know everything that happens after this. And I kind of just like briefly told what I think is going on. I'm like, if Yuuji was born when he was supposed to, but he's still related to these cursed paintings, and Kamo is the father essentially of them. and he's Noritoshi, who's been jumping between bodies and bodies. I feel like he must have been. We don't know either one of Yuji's parents, so
right.
if he has a mom out here, listen. If he had a mom out here, Kenjaku got with his mama in somebody else's body, and if he has a dad, then Kenjaku is his mama.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Kenjaku can be any gender. Like Kenjaku, we don't know who the original Kenjaku, if it was male or female. So, I mean, yeah, either Kenjaku was the mama or something. But I'm like, so my whole thing is,
I think he's definitely human. I don't think Yuji's some 70-year-old cursed spirit energy thing. All of a sudden, put in like a human body.
That's what I'm like. But if he was actually birthed by someone, then it probably was Kenjaku in somebody's body. But then that brings the question of what is Kenjaku's plan? What is
his goal?
Yeah,
so I'm like, I can't bring myself to believe that
he's just trying to create a new race.
But I heard people say that they think, this was like under the comments of the episode on Crunchyroll, that Kenjaku is maybe trying to like make a body or make a vessel for Sukuna, but I'm like, why?
That's kind of what my theory is.
Is it like why?
Well, until we actually know the origin of Kenjaku and what they ultimately want, we don't know. Like Kenjaku could have known Sukuna or being a Sukuna servant or something. So we don't know, and we haven't actually seen Kenjaku and Sukuna interact in the capacity. So I'm like, will we get that? Because that would be cute.
It's all just been conjecture and nothing like bad on, like it's been like, oh, Jogo asking how strong he is compared to Sukuna when they was in that coffee shop, or just offhanded comments about him versus their relationship. So that is interesting. I would like to see that.
Anything about themselves or their ultimate plan, even the Gojo. I mean, not Jogo them. Like Car's close to chest, so we don't know the ultimate thing. But I'm like, my thought would initially be that they have some alliance or allegiance to Sukuna or knew Sukuna back in the day.
Because I mean,
so for Sukuna,
I think the closest thing we have to Sukuna and Kenjaku or Noritoshi's relationship is Urame. I think that's her name, Urame, the ice user, because obviously is subservient to Sukuna, and in an effort to legitimately bring them back. I mean, even when
how old is this person? Because Sukuna was like, "What's up? Oh, hey, friend!" Like. So
I'm jumping into dangerous territory and trying to actually look and see.
Sukuna clearly has people that he remembers from whenever he was last.
Oh yeah, this person is 1,000+ years old.
Exactly.
Urame.
And they was just kicking it with Geto, so it's like
right. So, but at the same time, Urame is still in a sense taking orders from Kenjaku, because when everyone was frozen in ice, Kenjaku's like, do not kill anybody, I need messengers. And to the point where she's sitting there with a hole in the hand from Choso, and you can tell those powerful people exactly, but they were holding back at least to
that's how they even got to the fight. They got to the fight with Geto. They were part of Geto's squad. And then Sukuna was like, oh, hey, what's up? And they obviously wanted to bring Sukuna out. And then, like, they didn't even really do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just more so feel like Geto, that whole time Sukuna was chilling. You didn't come have a conversation. You didn't seem to have no point for that. You know what I'm saying? And I know Sukuna was like, well, Jogo, if you can land a hit, I'll do whatever y'all want. But my whole thing is, if that was really pivotal to the plan, I feel like Kenjaku would have just been there themselves.
Yeah, I don't even think. To me, it's kind of always felt that way from the moment I realized that wasn't Geto. I feel like their intentions, like the cursed spirits, Jogo, Hanami, Mahito, they had their plan, which was Sukuna and bringing him back and doing this whole new age of curses, blah blah blah. I think Kenjaku just obviously use that to have them continue to work side by side, because like for the life of me I couldn't think to myself, specifically Mahito, why he was working with Geto so consistently. Like the way he just switched up on Junpei, like, you know what I mean? Like obviously humans are not a thing to him that he respects in that way, so why Geto is the one that you like are following,
playing along with it just to keep them appeased, and was like, well, when he come out, he gonna kill you.
Right. I mean, that's maybe what I feel like.
But that could be because they know Sukuna. So I don't know. It just makes it interesting. I do believe that the goal was ultimately crafting vessels for Sukuna or some other spirit or something like that. So I ultimately think that's Kenjaku's plan. But we got the little fight with Choso, which was great. Great music. So good. I love the sound effects. Like I like when he pressurized the blood and you can hear the whistling sound like a teapot or whatever. That was so cool. I just love that.
I like the extra little flavor text of the other Kamo person being there and being like shook by it, just to give that extra like weight to like how badass of a character and what he's doing, because obviously he's going against one of the main villains, so ain't nobody about to die here on the villain side. So it's kind of like just a showcase of his abilities, and to the point where he was doing so much, and once again they just added so much than what was in the anime. I don't even understand how he did a lot of the stuff he did. Well, not a lot of the stuff specifically. How the hell did he become an earthbender? Like, did he raise that platform with blood? Like, was the blood on the edge just pushing it up or something?
It
was
kind of crazy. And how does he have so much blood?
Well, they did say that he would be he wouldn't get like tired out from like losing blood, because it would like replenish or something like that, right? And ain't no human can get that out here, right?
Your average human has like 2 liters of blood, maybe almost 3 if you're pregnant. Random nurse knowledge as a hemorrhage specialist, but I'm just saying, being a hemorrhage, I was on the hemorrhage protocol team, so I'd be sitting there watching Choso fight. Like, it's got to be like that part where it like exploded around Kenjaku. It was like this big ring of blood, which I love that shot. And Kenjaku was just there, and the hair was fine. I love that little fight. It was so good.
And I mean, like, if a human was doing it, it would be visually a little bit more not understandable, because that ain't how blood works going through your body. But if they had some type of like circulation, like if every time he attacked with blood, it would make its way back into his body to just be like recycled or something like that.
I just try to feel like I could use that visual, because I'm just like, where he holding it? Where is it coming from? I still think that he could fly too. This nigga was flying on blood. He had blood.
Well, I was about to say, he was. That was a good thing too. Like how he took the daggers, them things flew back and they became under his foot to like explode and propel him. He is just like the ingenuity, and on top of that, he has not been fighting long, so he's up here like really, like he's not really giving it to Kenjaku, because Kenjaku fell off that thing. Like, don't tire yourself out.
I'm so sick of Kenjaku. That shot pissed me off. Like,
you okay, boy? You all right? Okay. All right now.
I'll see you later. Son. He should have said son. Not he sunned him though. He really
not Nicki Minaj.
He did
all these bitches.
Because he was like,
because as much as it's a spectacle, just nothing was landing. Not a pinch.
Same Kenjaku face. The eyes rolled up to the top with that wide grin the whole time. Just lazy eyes. Just.
You know what did change though?
Oh yeah. Okay, we
getting ahead. Okay, so anyway,
me though, but flying on that little squid thing or whatever. That's the same one. Whatever that thing was, Geto was flying on it.
Manatee type thing.
Little flying thing. Yeah, he was on it in the hidden inventory. So it's like
he was,
he'll be using all the stuff that Geto used. We saw these things in his inventory, so. It was very interesting to see Kenjaku use, but that was irritating.
Yeah, I wanted to see him be pushed a little bit more to the brink, and I was excited for it when all of them was like, okay, he's distracted. Oh, that's another. Sorry, that brings me to another point. Long live Panda, because he brings the comic relief that we need. This man, they standing up there watching. He was like, so. You just met this nigga, right? You just met him, right? Like, that's a stranger. He was like, you releasing pheromones? Didn't you just do this to Toto?
you gotta check him because he's like, is this a Toto thing? Like, is this some Sukuna stuff? Like, what's
I love it though. It's funny because this is legit true. Toto was just an oddball, but this is like Choso is for real. But it is funny that these people you just randomly meet all of a sudden want this blood tied to you.
Because Itadori is probably thinking it's like the Toto thing. Like he calls me brother.
100%.
It's one of those kind of thing. But I just love that. Choso
and this is why I love Choso so much. This is why I love Choso so much because like even from the time we met him, he was this brooding, dark Sasuke type, brooding figure. Yeah. And then we get to this episode and this man is like, just try it. Just call me Oni-chan one time. I was like, he's so adorable. And then he got the pom-poms.
I just need the Hello Kitty Choso.
It's so I love that. I love that.
Art from her. She does Jujutsu Kaisen fan art and she like puts pink glitter on it and just pinkifies it. And she has like Gojo pictures. It's like the glass and she paints on it.
Okay.
So it's like a glass plaque almost, and then she paints on it and like makes the drawing. They're so good.
You gotta show me this. Send me this. Shoot me a message. I want to see it.
I was like, I gotta get one of that's like on my bucket list to get some of their art. Like I just need it in my life.
I'm still waiting. Kaiju, if you watching this, girl, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for send me a little sample, a little preview. I got my second one that I'm doing in the Antoine JJK Daddy's saga.
She can make a lot of money doing that with these people.
I'm telling you. Well, she's been posting a lot of the Nanami ones. A lot of people have been getting themselves put into Nanami. I'm like, girl, this is a matter of time for it go viral. Just a matter of time.
I'm about to say it's over. But yes, I love the comic relief. It was kind of like that same effect when we saw Toji, because we really hadn't seen much besides him laying out children. And he was in that room and he had that little funny comic relief moment where he was saying,
he was like
crazy. Yeah, it kind of was given here. It was definitely like this little moment where you see that they're like actually a redeemable character. So I'm very excited to see what happens with Choso. But that was a good little peek. Of course he gonna get nerfed now. If he goes over to the good side, he gonna be weak.
I'm hoping not.
That's how anime is. As soon as somebody come over to the other side, they weak.
But I think they did, but that's the thing though. It's frustrating when they do that and they nerf them like that when you can't see, like it doesn't make sense to you in the journey of them getting from A to B. This just makes sense. Like his first fight that we saw was an amazing fight with Yuuji in the bathroom. He actually came out on top. He actually won that. But this just makes so much more sense why he's not coming out as successful, because it is Kenjaku. So I would like to see him in a lot more smaller fights. Yeah, and like against somebody that's not more realistic.
We'll probably fight that person again. I'm definitely feeling like we gonna square up. We got a personal beef thing, but Kenjaku is a problem, like
a serious one. America? No, not America. Japan? Shibuya has a problem.
Shibuya has a problem, and it's Kenjaku laying Negroes out. And so that was cute. And then they had that Go-Go Power Rangers moment where everybody was like, we're gonna attack together. Isn't that what was going on?
Yeah, and I got really excited until Urame popped in. And even though I was disappointed because I wanted to see them really push Kenjaku, I don't know what it is. The animators, they ate they fruity pebbles, they Cocoa Puffs when they woke up that morning to animate this, because that ice scene, the lighting, the dynamics, the sound effects, like you could feel the power in her abilities, even though they were so like, how does this equal all of that? It was crazy to me. It was so good.
I love it. I love ice powers.
I do too. I genuinely do too. Yeah.
They're like
me. I always say, like, if I had abilities, like it would probably be something water related. Now, what I want, maybe no, but I just know when I get a power, it's gonna be something water or ice related. Yes. I just know it.
I love that. That was such a good fight, and they had that little moment. Miwa had her little moment, but McMara already told us they weak. So
they
didn't have a chance against Mahito. That was not about to beat Kenjaku.
Girl, the moment that he dodged, when he dodged them arrows, and then when that girl came up here thinking she gonna slice somebody, all I kept saying was, "This is why Mekamaru had y'all on that fucking train. This is why he didn't tell y'all nothing." And what did I say when I told you, like, answer those questions as if you was him? And then she was like, "Why didn't you tell us?" I said, "Because you gonna turn your ass around and
you
get
gonna try to be
in the mix of things." And look what happened. You almost got obliterated. Oh, you almost got vaporized.
Kenjaku with the quickness tried to Uzumaki her ass in the face. I love it.
But like, let me go back and look. Was that even at a crucial moment? Did they even need to show up? Was he about to kill somebody just then when she popped up?
I think they were just trying to kill. I think they want to free Gojo. So I feel like they are just like, we have to take Kenjaku down. I feel like that was just like the whole motivation.
I'm just trying to think of, if they weren't there in the moment, what would have happened in that space and time when she jumped in, and it was right after the centipede attack.
Okay, because I was like, they just gave Choso a minute to show up.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did. Because Yuuji was, oh my god, he was doing his best. But that's another thing too. Like, as much as people want to maybe potentially float the idea around here that Yuuji is useless, y'all will never get me on that train. When I tell you, in the moments where he is, I think, I mean, even my friend came and said it once, not Camden said it in a DM after the episode before last, and I was just like, we won't have that conversation in my private messages. No, not in my house. Yuuji, I mean, got them hands.
Yuuji is the whole vessel of Sukuna. I mean, I don't know. I never would have thought that people would be like, Yuuji is useless.
I don't like them words. Just because he got pink hair, don't you be drawing no parallels to nobody. Just because. Pink hair,
don't get love. Yeah, I've never, even as a not Yuuji enthusiast yet, I would not have said Yuuji was useless at any point. I mean, he just learned all this stuff on the fly. Like, ran to Megumi, found out all this stuff, eating fingers, died, came back.
Eating fingers. He's a human Mahito.
Right, just like training on the fly. So, because we were watching it, so my husband was binging it, where the little teddy bear that the principal gave him to train him, hit him every time.
Was watching movies, yeah.
First energy, I love that episode. But so yeah, no, I never felt like Yuuji was just learning, getting introduced to this whole world he basically knew nothing about before that.
But so, like, in every fight, even if he lost, he still did what he was supposed to do, at least what he could do, and it was beneficial every time.
Yeah, he throwing hands too, so he literally.
You can't say the same for Miwa.
Why she always got to be brought back into this? She tried. Because she was using some dark arts or whatever we ain't heard nobody else say yet, so that was interesting. And Kenjaku,
girl, she squatted down and raided her sword just like Kusakabe. She said some extra words, yeah.
But Kenjaku was like, "Oh, she know a little something." And the fact of how Kenjaku
that is true.
Maki at her ass, she might be a problem later.
You are going to throw that lifeline out there for somebody to grab.
The fact that Kenjaku threw a whole Uzumaki at her ass, like, we've only, as far as Geto, you think, because Geto
he was
Yuta, right?
Yeah, he did. Ain't nobody gonna tell me was out here clapping folks like a Yuta. Ain't nobody. He gave a little compliment.
Nothing at Choso. You ain't see Kenjaku do. This is the only person.
He was having fun. He was having fun.
I loved every second of it.
I think the reason, because it can't be the power level. He's not gonna whip out.
He said she got some knowledge.
I think the reason he said that is because somehow he got wind that Sukuna was passing out compliments. So he said, "Let me have my moment too, and give her a little 1-2 before she die."
He said she got some knowledge. So I'm curious to know more about whatever that technique was that she did. Yeah, because I haven't heard it before now, and I'm sure there's gonna be someone else who does it better. That's
which is the sad thing. It's like, because I agree with you. There's gonna be somebody maybe from the Zenin clan that can use a sword.
Remember when she did that, and it was that. This is that, but better. So like, I feel like they're gonna be. It's gonna come back.
Poor plot device.
Saying, but he didn't have to throw that whole Uzumaki at her like that.
That was but let's just give that scene a go. I love that. I don't know if it was because maybe Mahito was mixed into, or maybe a large portion of that.
Hands coming out.
Because the Uzumaki he did against Yuta had like 4,000, not 4,000, but it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, and it was just straight up black or whatever. But this one was so technicolor, huh?
Mahito brought the colors.
I'm guessing so. I mean, he did have a colorful human transfigured body, so maybe that played into it or something. It was
like blue and stuff like that.
This was a great one. Or either Kenjaku just all of a sudden knows how to use his ability more and bring out more from it, because that was
definitely giving like Spirited Away Studio Ghibli ass with that blue with the whirlwind. I was like, let's go.
Such a pretty attack.
If only they had more time. I know that finger shot would have been great. They like to do weird hands on hands, and I'm here for it.
I mean, this was just a whole nother one where it's just a bunch of this.
Yeah, and if we would have had all the time for animation, I know they would have put their foot in it, because they put.
I mean, but for what we got though, yeah, like this is the one episode, the one that I would say.
When I saw this,
I just like I almost have no critiques.
Yeah.
Like no critiques.
No criticisms. And even that part where Kenjaku laughs, like even in that moment, I think part of the beauty of that scene, hey Yella, I think part of the beauty of that scene for me was because we know Kenjaku has that dead expression for the most part. But even the beauty of that scene was like I could see Geto in that scene. And he even said later, like, oh, I was acting just like him. Like I was acting like him in that moment. So I just thought it was great that it was like subtle, but even subtly you could feel, because I tell you, when it's Kenjaku, they give Geto no good angles. Like if Geto looked like Kenjaku Geto, I don't think they would have the fandom of people who are like in love with Geto
the entire time. Yeah,
they no favorable shots. But in that moment it was a very beautiful scene. I just loved it. It was so great. I want a poster of it. I really do. I want a poster of that scene. I want somebody to do fan art of it with like a lot more detailing
of him using Uzumaki.
Yes,
they need to. I'm gonna get that commission. I'm gonna put you in Miwa's place. You just like
I just want to see that. Like, I just loved it. The first time when he did the whirlpool to suck Mahito up, and when he threw it at her, like both of them, I just love both of those scenes. It was so good, good. But we did get a new expression when that ending came in.
Yes, we did. And who showed up? Yuki Somonchumomo. I'm so excited. She's like touching down. You say you mad?
I'm not mad. Like, I mean, that's who I thought would show up. I didn't actually think it would happen, because we talked about this earlier in the season. Like, she gonna have to show up.
Yeah. What are you and Yuta doing?
Where is Yuta? Somebody say Yuta in Africa. Dancing Afro.
He's
doing the water challenge.
Right. Making TikToks. I'm telling you, when he gets on that plane and he enters Japan airspace and them towers start connecting and he start getting service, those text messages are going to go off.
Yeah. Where is Yuta?
I'm telling you.
Where is Yuta?
But at least we got Yuki. At least we got Yuki now, because she showed up, and I mean, just as cavalier as ever, cracking jokes and stuff, asking people what kind of woman.
For some reason, when I see her,
good Cammy. One, Cammy. Yes. I'm a Cammy stan.
I wonder what her combat style is gonna be like. We've seen.
I don't know. She got that. I haven't even seen it still yet. I have no idea what she's like, what she can do.
And we probably ain't gonna see it. Then I was like, dang, they will show her up. Like, I'm just like, and we probably never gonna. I hope they don't do something. I shouldn't have
said that. Damn, that kind of ruined.
No, but because it's too late. That's what I'm saying. Like, one, I'm like, Kenjaku is obviously the villain of the show, and we don't have enough answers. We haven't got anything. So in my head, I'm like, they're not gonna have a fight. Right. I'm like, they're not gonna have a fight that ends in anything. Right? Like, it would be either like, oh, I'm playing around with you. Oh, let me see how it's gonna be one of those exchanges. Like, that's all I would expect from this anyway. So I just didn't feel like we would get to see the full gamut. Kind of like this fight with Kenjaku, where it was more so kiting and just like I'm avoiding, I'm on the defensive. I'm not really showing you what I really got yet. Maybe a little glimpse. So that would be my thought of if we do even get to see them engage in any sort of combat, is gonna be that. Like, we're both kind of playing around to gauge each other's power level, kind of fight.
Yeah, because I think this is the first time that that we know of, that they've came in contact, So, he
last time we talked
was with back in Hidden Inventory.
Yeah, when she had that conversation with Geto.
But I'm thinking like Kenjaku, because like obviously he knows who the tops are, So, but it's just like that the way he reacted, I don't know, it just feels like there's some interaction that he must have had with her at some point, maybe in another body, I don't know.
Or unless the only thing I could think when I saw that reaction was, this is what Kenjaku wants in some way, for some reason. You know what I mean?
Like he wanted her to show up?
Like he wants to draw out these stronger special grades. Like, I just feel like that's the only thing that made sense to me. So that's kind of actually what I thought. Like, Kenjaku would have to know she's around. Kenjaku probably knew, I'm gonna start killing people. Like, they gonna pull out all the stops. I'm stealing Gojo. So, like, it feels more so like this is what Kenjaku wanted. When I saw that expression, it was like, okay, now we cooking with grease. Like,
okay. Yeah, I'm going back and I'm looking at it now, this freeze frame on it, and it does give me that. Like, if I'm putting that to context to the expression, I kind of see that. I do see that, yeah.
Like, this is what I've been waiting for. Like, still face everything up until now. So it's like, why would Kenjaku want to pull out all these special grade, draw them out? Like, that's what I don't understand.
I mean, well, we've been talking about, we don't know his full plan yet. He did say, don't kill them because I need messengers. What do you think is his message? What do you think he's trying to convey to, and who? To who? Like, to the world?
The episode where I give like predictions about based on everything we saw. So like, based on May's discussion at the beginning of like, obviously Kenjaku is not out to destroy the world, which is great, because you do have those villains like, I just want to kill everything, which is more so like what Jogo then was saying, like, kill everybody, let the curses be the new humans. Kenjaku obviously just wants Japan, yeah, basically. So based on what May said, he's not just trying to destroy people or the world. He wants something, and it's not like world domination. So then I'm like, okay, it's that. And then obviously might have beef with Jujutsu. We don't really know what's going on. I don't know about the organization behind Jujutsu sorcerers and stuff. So I'm like, maybe it's possibly related to that. That's the only thing I could maybe think, because they're the one who's responsible for sealing Sukuna too, right? Like, they were housing the fingers like a good amount, right?
Who?
Like in season 1, they were trying to get the fingers from Jujutsu. I think even in the movie, that's what they were trying to do. Get they had fingers that they got from Jujutsu. So I'm like, that's the only thing I could think. Like, Kenjaku wants to make some new organization, maybe a race of people, wants the strongest people for something. So I'm like, it's got to be some sort of organizational plan or new race of people plan, but not like the first spirits like Jogo and Mahito. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel like he has any use for them.
Do you have any like ideas or inclinations of how he would go about it?
What, like making a new race?
Yeah.
I mean, he did the curse. Didn't he do the curse wombs or whatever? So, I mean, been working on it for a while. Or just trying to achieve some sort of immortality or something like that. It'll be something like that. But he did make all the curse wombs. So, if I had to just guess, let's just say Itadori is the perfect final. Like, I've been trying, and Itadori was the perfect one. Like, I finally got it right. You know what I'm saying? With this one, then it would be something like that. Like, I'm trying to make people that also can house these really powerful beings or something, so that they can live forever or something like that.
I'll say we're not gonna get all the answers. Yeah, we're gonna get a little more in next episode though.
Okay.
So I feel like we're gonna at least have a good idea of like where next season is gonna go by next.
Because he even said he's gonna let Gojo back out. Kenjaku said he gonna let Gojo back out.
He said that?
Yeah.
How did he say? What was the context?
When how did he say like, oh, I'll let you out when I'm done or something like that.
Oh, right. Okay, got you. I do remember that. Mm-hmm. Okay,
so I'm like, okay, so Kenjaku, and then that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, so Kenjaku is also fine with the child. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something where it's something that needs to be done in a certain time, and once it's done, then it's done. You know what I'm saying? You
gotta imagine that if he's fine with letting Gojo out, you gotta know this is like, what's up, Mandrell? This is like definitely gonna be some type of a power boost for him, because you can't just let Gojo out expecting stuff to be okay. That's what I'm saying.
If you like, oh, I'm gonna let Gojo out a little bit, and I'll let you out in a little bit, and at that point, it won't even matter. So I'm like, and then in my head, it's like, okay, there's some power up, or there is just something that needs to happen, and once it's in motion, it can't be stopped. So I would think it would be something like that.
That's a good guess. Yeah,
just based on that, because I'm like, you can let Gojo out. Okay, so it's something that has to be done in a certain period of time, and he wants Yuuji. He said he needs messengers, but I don't think he wants Yuuji as a messenger.
Well, she was like, Urame was like, the number one, she ain't gonna let nothing happen to Yuuji, because when he saved Choso, she even was like, do you even know whose body that is? Like, whose body do you think that is? Like, she's very much so protective over his return. So I think because even then when she was like, you can't tell me I can't kill nobody, so remind me, you only need Yuuji to be a messenger, right? You know what I'm saying? So there is specific between the both of them, there's some type of,
I'm trying to think, like, what would the message be? I don't know what the message would be.
Like, the only thing is, like, because I think I know what the message is, but I can't say nothing I can't think of anything to detract.
I'm trying to think of what the message would be if he wants these people, or specifically Yuuji, a witness to what happened. It would have to be a witness to what happened. But he didn't say a witness. He said a message. So I'm like, what would the message be? Because they definitely wouldn't be like preaching the gospel of Kenjaku.
Spread my name.
Spread my name. Like,
I need missionaries.
Right. And who would you be spreading the message to? Because shit, all of Jujutsu sorcerers over there. They all sure
here. Right. Anything you say right now, as long as one person's alive, it's gonna get around. So
it ain't
a world
Jujutsu
thing, right?
This is to Jujutsu. Isn't there like a board or some higher ups behind Jujutsu? Huh?
Yeah, that Gojo want to kill every last one of them.
So maybe it's them. Like,
maybe,
it's only people like it might be them.
Or to, like, have we forgotten about, and I say this sarcastically because we have, about Tengen? Like, we don't even know about his.
Tengen, what happened to Tengen when they killed Rika?
Right. So we still got a lot of questions and stuff to be answered.
Didn't they say if they didn't get a new vessel, a whole bunch of stuff would happen? And, like, I'm assuming
so every 500 years it is, right, or something like that, he has to take in the platinum star vessel, right, new star vessel, and that's to keep him from, let's see, that's the hard thing about reading manga. I'm trying to decipher what information was before or after.
Well, I remember they said, like, it was something about he would persist, but in one way, but if he didn't, it was almost like curses would be unleashed or something like that.
That's what it was. So he essentially is Tengen is also the one that, like, has all the barriers around Jujutsu as well.
Right.
And if he ends up not being retaining his form, and when he becomes, like, otherworldly, he also loses, like, his emotions. Like, the thing that keeps him quote unquote good is no longer there.
Because they're like a neutral party, was kind of like my understanding. Like, he really don't give a fuck about people. So, like, if Tengen didn't, like, get a star vessel, it would be, like, kind of indifferent. Like, almost like a god. You know how they're just kind of like, I really don't
have a physical form anymore, I don't think. Right. He would, like, literally become that, like, this omnipotent being.
Yeah.
But that would number one put all of Jujutsu in danger, because there's no more barriers now. It's a free for all, you know. And on top of that, I feel like it would
humans would just be
I'm a stop.
kind of. Well, that's something like my understanding of is like humans
more.
would be done for because cursed spirits would be running amok more, and there would be no Jujutsu high, so there's no Jujutsu sorcerers. So like that's kind of my understanding of it. Like it's needed for that, but those people in the higher ups, I don't really think. I think some of them didn't even want that to happen. They were like, yeah, who cares? So just considering all of that there is this board up there, we don't know what their motivations are. Let's just say my theory is going to be Kenjaku has a message for them. So that might be my thought.
So Hood Magic, he said that, I think you put this on the screen too previously. They spoke on it in the episode when Sukuna beat Jogo. It was Geto's crew talking about what's going to happen next. Now that's if we fully believe Kenjaku to be not just simply using him for his own means, which I think he is. I think whatever plan they had, and whatever plan Jogo and other cursed spirits had are separate from what this is just my speculation.
Kenjaku was just like, I need people, I need bodies. So
and how can I get them to work for me? Exactly.
Because he had that one clan with the grandma, them weird eyes people.
I forgot about them.
Yeah, so I'm saying he had a whole bunch of people that was kind of just like it would mutually benefit them to have Gojo sealed. It would benefit them to have, all this stuff. So it could be one of those things. Like Geto's followers wanted this particular world, and so he probably appealed to them as far as like, oh yeah, we can do that. Like I'm gonna get rid of non-sorcerers. Y'all ain't got to worry about that. So they probably like, okay, that's still achieving Master Geto's plan. So.
Is Mandriel really reading the manga?
Yeah, I think Mandriel said he's read the manga. He said it before.
Okay. Oh, her.
Yeah, he said it before. So
he said, I'm ahead of you, anime only fans.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Kenjaku's plan definitely is a lot of murder. Not that Kenjaku cares about it, but he's just willing to work with people who want that. So I'm like, maybe it's a message to Jujutsu or whatever. Or maybe he's trying to make a body for, what's that thing called? Tengen or Tenzin?
Tengen, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to make a body for Tengen, for all we know. Because I don't really understand Tengen. They seem like a god. So
yeah. It sounds like if he made a body for Tengen, though, he would be doing what they wanted for the Star Vessel, I think. You know what I mean? Because that's the whole thing, is to keep him.
But that's if Tengen isn't a prisoner. We don't even know if Tengen is a prisoner of Jujutsu or a slave. We don't actually know. We just taking a word for it that this is how. Okay, so if it's really this omnipotent spirit that just kind of stays out of human affairs, why would it be doing this for you? Why would it?
I don't think he's at that point yet. That's what would happen if he didn't succeed with the vessel thing.
So in essence,
he's that omnipresence just yet.
And that's what I'm saying. That's just kind of what everybody thinks about him based off what they were told. I'm just saying, like, for me, it always felt like maybe Tengen is a prisoner.
I mean, yeah, you're right. We haven't met him.
Imprisoned spirit or a god-like spirit that they're just abusing for their own means by keeping them changing the vessel out all the time.
So that would be one of a plot twist if we went to visit Tengen and he's somewhere like fucking chained up or something.
I definitely feel like this feels like a story where Jujutsu, the organization of Jujutsu is probably not good.
Gonna get put on Front Street.
Yeah, I don't think they're good. Like, for some reason, I just feel like they are the people who are really behind the scenes. Where it's giving like Illuminati energy or something. Like, I don't think it's actually good. I think it's something going on. It's like
psychopath type situation.
Yeah, like it's really some shady stuff going on, and only a few people who get to go in the room know what it is. And they just kind of tell these sorcerers, this is what you have to do. They're feeding them this narrative. But like Geto was saying, like, I mean, what are we doing? Like, these humans gonna have negative emotions. We gotta go out and put it, and we basically just die. We just pawns. Y'all just send us out to die. Y'all aren't trying to solve the problem. We can't solve the problem. So we're basically sacrificial lambs in it all. And they're like, yeah, that's what y'all are. So it just feels shady to me.
Well, this kind of ties into that too, and it's a question my friend Nick at work asked me after the Kusakabe moment. Mm-hmm. So we know that they all wanted Yuuji dead at the beginning,
right?
But Gojo stepped in and he took it upon himself to be responsible and train him. And we know now it's in order to create new Jujutsu sorcerers that will be able to rival him, when he's gone and all that type of stuff. Like he's trying to move the world as far as Jujutsu sorcery in that direction. Nick asked me, he was like, after that episode, and it was because I was like, Kusakabe real as hell, man, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. He was like, so do you agree with Kusakabe in that moment that Yuuji dying is the answer? Like, do you think that is what they should do? Because I told him there's no way we could guess or see this level of devastation in the near future with this plan Gojo had.
Yeah. Well, I think their reason for wanting to kill Yuuji was because like the problem with him being a vessel. Not only just he's a vessel for Sukuna, and they're like, he's gonna lose control, and they were like probably willing to go with it because, like you said, Gojo was around, but he's not. But I really think that's why I feel like they just know more than they're letting on.
So do you agree that Gojo should have killed Yuuji in the beginning, or should he have let him continue to live and fulfill the plan that he saw?
I don't think he should have killed him because it's possible Gojo knows that Yuuji is one of those, or has picked up on it like over time or something. Gojo has 6 eyes.
Yeah, Gojo's smart as hell. I don't doubt that he might actually know
more than the average person sees. So I'm like, it's possible Gojo knows. And then if Gojo knows that, then no, it just wouldn't have made sense for him to kill him because one, there's other curse moons, and he probably knows that. And like, you gotta kind of see also what's the play. So like, if it was me and I'm all powerful, I'm not expected to be sealed up, I definitely would let it play out. I wouldn't kill it because it's like, okay, somebody somewhere has this little nigga walking around. And y'all don't want to know what they trying to do. How are we gonna find out if we kill him? So it's almost like Yuuji's your only lead, really.
And he wouldn't trust them with that information if he did know.
Right.
I feel like he would keep that even though it might help his argument. I don't think he would trust them with that information.
No. So they probably may have used, because he's like, this is a vessel and we know vessels are important. So it's like, yeah, they're probably going to try to use him for something if I tell them. So I can see why he also wouldn't tell them, because they're like, he's a vessel. Either they're going to try to use him for their own thing or kill him. But it's like, I don't know, if I was I would have made the same decision because I need to figure out who made him and what are they trying to do.
Yeah, that's what I say. I didn't say the exact same thing, but we're on the same page. Yeah. Because he was, on the side of they should have killed him. But I'm like, I just can't subscribe to that because at the time, Gojo had an answer or was presented with an answer to a problem y'all had not the slightest idea how to handle. Like what all y'all are doing is wrapping these fingers up and they're still causing damage. They're still leaking out energy, drawing cursed spirits. So this man was like, oh, this is somebody that can literally like ingest these and then like nullify it. And the only reason, and this is from Kenjaku's mouth, the only reason Yuuji didn't suppress the 11 fingers is because he got fed to him back to back like a buffet.
Yeah.
If he would have had those,
he was also like unconscious too because he just got beat up. So yeah.
But even if I feel like if he was unconscious and still ate one, he would be able to suppress it. So it's like if he would have did that same amount day after day, he is still quote unquote the answer, because if he eats the rest of the fingers, then we can go into discussions about taking him out. Granted, we don't know.
Like you can kill him after he eats them all. Like
exactly, but like even then though, I'm like, I still don't think killing Yuuji is the answer, because do we know that will work? Like, what if you kill Yuuji and now that all the fingers are together, he just all of a sudden is
reincarnated?
Right.
Yeah, no, I definitely think Gojo made the right decision. Like, why would you kill him? He's special. We have no leads. We have no idea why he's special, but this is probably useful information. No matter how you slice it, it's useful. It's useful information. So yeah, I don't know. Why would you kill him? That's It's not. So no, I don't agree with that. I think Gojo made the right decision in that sense. Anything else? I can't wait to see what next episode is. I'm so excited to see Yuki and Geto, whatever their little exchange is, whatever their engagement is.
I want to see this little mechanical dragon thing. If it's even mechanical, is it bone? Like what? It looks
like Zabimaru, right?
Right. Yeah, it do.
Like Zabimaru.
I need it to be a little better than Zabimaru. Just a little better. Yeah, and it looks like bone. It looks like bone. I thought it was mechanical at first, but yeah.
No, it looks like a bone. It looks like a little zombie.
The way it moves too. This is exactly how I imagined too, seeing it float behind her in the panel.
Yeah, like what does she do? Oh, I can't wait.
Obviously, she's gonna have hands. I mean, she trained Toto, so.
Oh, okay. And that sounds like she giving Cammy. So I'm hoping it's like she got hands. I'm really hoping she got hands, or she kicks a lot. I feel like she's gonna kick. She's gonna. If she
does. Listen, I'm so wrapped up I can't even speak. If she gives me a cannon spike, I am going to flip out.
I think she's gonna be a kicker, because like we know Geto has the hands. Like that's actually his specialty, right? Like close combat, outside of his ability to do the curse spirit manipulation. Like he actually is like that is. I think they were talking about strategy. They was like close combat with Geto.
That was the whole little moment in Hidden Inventory where he flaked that dude out. He was like, "Oh, so you thought, but let me wow, real quick, right? You don't want to do that, buddy. You might as well have stayed in the back. You might as well when you want to take an ass for these cursed spirits, not me, sir."
So I would love to see them have just kind of like a little sparring match. Like she's a kicker, he's a hand-to-hand combat. I would love to see that.
I love women that kick. The way I was infatuated, I'm talking about infatuated. That's why I got all excited when you mentioned Cammy, because Cammy and Chung-Li had me in a choke hole, and not with just their legs. Like it was emotional, but I ain't chose nobody. I was a professional. You want to square with me? That's who I was gonna.
I'm so excited to see. I think she's gonna be a kicker. I said, how are they gonna beat Geto? He's super OP. That's my man. I'm gonna stick beside.
I mean, we all know we literally. This is the first time we've seen Yuki in present day. First time, so you never know. We never know what she's in the top 3. It's the people that you are worried about as a sorcerer is Gojo, Geto, and Yuki.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like those are the top 3. So we'll see.
It's gonna be a miss, and I'm so excited for it.
And it's good too, because now that Gojo is sealed, I just feel like we need to have a placeholder of somebody that just has exceptional power. We need that. We need that.
Can like maybe hold a candle and go toe to toe with.
Right.
Yeah, Gojo really fucked up though. Like you just left the body of a special grade sorcerer
just chilling with somebody random. Your buddy too.
When you really think about it, like
you could have did it yourself.
And the fact that Geto was the fact that Geto was housing all these cursed spirits, like 5,000 spirits in him, and you just left, just like, you know what? I'll leave it up to somebody we don't know to dispose of it. Like, I don't know, Gojo. That's kind of a huge oversight.
Obviously, he's an emotional butterfly, and we see that from his absent-minded, what was it, 1 minute of staring and reminiscing. I would never get over that.
Though.
I get it. I get it.
That's like your ex, like popping up.
You're gonna be stuck for a second.
Trying to
think of what you gonna do.
Not only your ex popped up, but you found out that your ex is the one who is out here scheming to lock your ass up. Ooh. And you're in the handcuffs, and this motherfucker pop up around the corner.
Bring the parallels. Dashi booty.
Making cute faces like
those are your
is that your booty now? Like, bitch, wait. I'll be stuck on it too. Like,
well, I guess that's why it works so good. And for it to be such a simple, I'm talking about the simplest thing they could think of to take Gojo off the map. It makes sense. They did a great job building that relationship up. I'll tell you that, because it wouldn't have been believable. I need to. I actually need to.
I need to watch all of this season again for a reason, and like also we got to get to see Geto with his soul in his body. Gojo loved Geto, right? And I'm sorry, I did the same thing. Geto was pretty, a princess. Okay, he'd be like, hold on, something off. You still cute.
Like, Hood Magic also asks, next stream, can we hear your favorite moments of the season? Because it is going to be the finale. So,
is this really going to be the finale, or we should have one more? Is it?
It is. Let me look again, but I'm pretty sure I did look before we got on, and I think it is.
No, I'm gonna have to run away into my chat. So I need them to make some episodes. I'm gonna tell them, write me an episode of Jujutsu. Write me a slice of life episode for Jujutsu Kaisen. That's what I want. I
like how I just searched season 2. Mm-hmm. Saw a spoiler for the anime, but I'm like, I already did it. I genuinely reacted as if I never saw it, because I was just like, man, and I was like, oh yeah, I actually knew that.
I already knew that. Yeah,
but that's how it be. All I'm looking for is if the season finale is tomorrow, and the first thing that pop up
is that. That's why I'm even looking at nothing. So I can't wait. This has been such a good season, but I do want to go back and watch it all together now, because I haven't binged it yet. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. And I don't know, it's been really a good ride, minus the little hiccups in the middle,
but that's the thing. Even though, and I thought we were at a point of kind of no return just after those 2 or 3 episodes after we started to really notice, and I was like, well, here we go. I guess I'm just watching to see stuff happen and not really enjoying it to the fullest extent. But when I tell you, they really have did their big one. They did their big one on this, and even if the situation hasn't changed, it just goes to show how much love these people have for this medium and what they do and their art and making the fans happy. And even though we shouldn't even really be the concern right now, the concern really should be the animators and their everyday work environment and what they get put through. But even though that's not changing, and I feel like there's little on this end we could do besides throw our temper tantrums online.
Right.
I appreciate them fighting through and giving us what they did today.
And they've had some really strong directing too. And I think sometimes in these situations, directing does make a difference. I think the animators, when we talked about it, they definitely needed more time for a fight of that scale. But I think also directing helps a lot. And the directing on the episode, probably wasn't the best either, as far as following the story. But they've had some really good directing, some really good callbacks, some really good crumb trails for you to follow, so that you kind of can keep up with what's going on, and how they show you information and how they give you the information. So it's been really good directing too, and I think that does make a big difference. Getting people to emotionally connect to what they're seeing on the screen makes a difference, because I just wasn't emotionally connected to that fight either. So it's having that whole thing, and I think Geto really holds the series together. That whole hidden inventory backstory really holds the series together, helps you connect to this, why is the villain of Kenjaku so absolutely terrible, and why it's so sad, so they've done a good job. So I will give them their props there. But yes, I guess as long as the episode comes out this week, we'll be back on New Year's Eve. Want to be New Year's Eve?
I think so.
New Year Eve, because it's usually the same day. So it's Christmas Eve today. So we'll be back. And we will be talking about it. I'm just very excited. I'm very excited. I'll ask you after stream. I'll ask you that. But thanks everybody for watching. Shout out to Hood Magic, shout out Cutie. Who else came through? I know Mandrell came through, and Dorian came through. My friend Marcel. So I'm glad y'all came through, and we'll catch y'all next week. And I just can't wait to see what happens. Free my nigga Geto. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Bye.
Bye.